So I want to talk about something, and it is something that I have been interested in talking about, I think because of events that have been happening in my life recently. And it's this idea of finality. I've just never been good at accepting and processing when things are ending for me. And I've always been that way. I have never been good at goodbyes, and I've never been good at being able to move on from a part of my life that is no longer, whether that be graduating high school or graduating college or my college program ending last May, many other instances that I could name off but not relevant anyway. And I think the reason that I struggle with it so much is because I don't really acknowledge that things are ending, and I don't really treat these moments in my life with much importance, either until after it's over, or I just don't at all. And I guess the reason is because I don't remember things the same way that other people do. When I think about times in my life, I don't necessarily think about the specifics about it, and I can't really remember things with a lot of detail, but I remember the way that I felt during them. So for me, the idea of celebrating lasts and, going and doing this one more time or hanging out here for one more, memory, that just it freaks me out, because then all of a sudden my memory of that place or that person or that time in my life is kind of clouded by this idea of I'm never going to have that again. Oh, I don't like that at all. So what I unconsciously or subconsciously do is I just act like everything's normal. Like this is just another day of me doing this. And then, days later, I'm sitting back at home away from all my friends and away from the places that I made those memories, and it isn't the same. And my brain just can't process it right. What ends up happening is I have some sort of huge blow up over really trivial things. I remember one time, it was the final shows of my show choir, and we had this thing that was basically the equivalent of Secret Santa, and people would give you gifts every night, or your Secret Santa would give you gifts for each night of your show. I got home one night, and somebody who was visiting me for the show had eaten part of my gift, and I freaked out. I completely lost it. And it wasn't because they ate my gift. It was because I just couldn't handle the emotion of knowing that these were the last couple of shows that I was going to have in that group. Looking back, that's how I kind of react to anything that I know is going to come to an end, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I think I've gotten a little bit better, and I am lucky enough to be in a place like Disney, because both the beautiful thing about it and the heartbreaking thing is that it is constantly changing, and we're going through a really big rebranding of Walt Disney World. So there are all these things that I remember either growing up or during my college program that are being taken away from me and that are being replaced by things that are, granted, better and bigger, but it's just a reminder that the time that I had when I was little is not the same as what I'm going to have moving forward. So it's a really good learning experience working down here, because I do think that I have gotten at least a little bit better about it. I definitely cried during the last night of wishes, and I was working at the time, so I was trying to hide my sobs behind my hand. I mean, growing up, I would have never cried while something was happening. I might have cried afterwards. I might have cried a week after because I just missed it, but I would never have taken in the moment as emotionally as I did during wishes. It's definitely something that I've given a lot of thought to recently. I'm sure I'm not the only one that has these issues, but it's nice to kind of dissect my brain and put it into actual words, the how and the why I do things that I do. I'm kind of glad I came to the realization recently. The next big thing that I'm going to have to kind of figure out how to deal with is the college program students that came in at the same time that I started at Mind Train, they're going to be leaving in the next couple of weeks or in the next couple of months, and that's going to be a really big learning curve for me. I guess that's what was on my brain recently. So, also, I'm drinking raspberry lemonade while sitting in a lawn chair in my living room at like 6 o'clock at night because why not? I want to do more of these, but I don't think I'm very interesting. I have a hard time just sitting down and talking to the camera because I just feel like whenever I do, I just don't sound like myself. Maybe that will come with practice. I don't know. We'll see. With working so much, I just don't always have the time to go out and about. As noted in the 2 months that I was without filming, but I'm trying to get back in the swing of things, and luckily I have people now that I am comfortable filming around and that I can go and do things with. Okay, so I guess this is it. I will see you when I see you. Bye. What's really great is that you can't tell that all of my mess is like hidden back there. Just because it looks like it doesn't mean I'm not a slob.